When I was in general real estate, I'm working when I want to work. I got my hands in 50 different baskets versus being able to focus on one thing. When I came to the builder, I was able to quit that serving job and just focus directly on real estate.
Hey, welcome back to the Real Estate Excellence Podcast, a show that highlights the top minds driving Northeast Florida real estate forward. Today's guest brings the energy, the execution, and the mindset of a top new home sales pro. He's helping buyers navigate builder incentives, make smart decisions in competitive markets, and take control of their home ownership journey. I thrive in the dynamic real estate landscape, he says. I'm here to make make sure buyers are informed, prepared, and positioned to succeed. From personal branding to disciplined follow-up, this episode is packed with strategy, motivation, and straight-up value for anyone eyeing new construction in Jacksonville, Nocatee, or St. Johns County. Let's dive in. Let's please welcome to the show, Jerry Strums.
Good morning.
Good morning. Glad you made it down. Almost 3 years, right? You and I did some content together.
3 years?
Well, just saying, you've been at Richmond now about almost 2.5. You're coming up on 2.5, so it was before that. So close to 3 years. 2.5 to 3 years. Yeah, it was just before.
Long time.
Yeah. I think Haley dissolved her team shortly after we had that meeting at the Compass office that day. So, but Jerry, audience, this is what I want you to get out of this show today. Jerry has had 2 years of great success at Richmond Homes here in Northeast Florida, and we'll talk about the different subdivisions he's been in. But you are the first site agent I've ever had on. I've never had a site agent on before. Now, I've had agents on that sell a lot of new construction, and we've talked about how to strategize, bringing a buyer there. But now I've got you. You're on the other side.
The dark side.
You're on the
dark side.
Well, hopefully we'll bring light upon that dark side today. And so the agents who are listening can better prepare their customers for a better satisfaction, because you're only selling that home once and you're going off to another subdivision. They may have to, if they're a great agent, and those people might, who knows, life changes 2, 3, 5 years down the road. They might be trying to sell the house that they just bought, and hopefully they're going to call that agent back who led them to you. Mm-hmm. Now they're going to call that agent back to sell that existing home, right? So the agents need to make sure they have a real positive interaction, and buying from a builder isn't always so cut and dry, is it?
No, it could be easy. It could be very easy, but sometimes it's not just. It's a lot of rules that go with buying new construction, and when you're coming in and, making sure you're safe, you know what I'm saying, and covering your butt, for realtors out there.
The head agent I had the other day, we were talking about, we like to think the builders got all their warranties, and we like to say, oh, they got a warranty. It's like buying a new car on the lot, right? We go buy whatever car, it's got a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty. Well, yeah, the builder does have their 1-year warranty, but houses are a little different than cars.
So it's more than a 1-year warranty. Like with Richmond, I know a lot of builders are different, but Richmond, we got a 1-year, we call it a 1-year bumper to bumper. So anything happens in that first year, you're covered. And then we got like a 7-year structural warranty on your whole house. So it's a little bit different. So I say the warranties with the builder are really good versus, buying a resale house and, something could happen tomorrow.
Right. Well, there's two sides to that. I would slightly disagree with you. The existing home has been time tested, so there's not likely, something unless the current homeowner knows that, hey, I went in and screwed with that, and now, something may happen. Where the builder, if it wasn't put in right, they don't know, right? And then who knows, it bursts in the 13th month or whatever happens, right? Pipes are crushed by trucks. A lot of things have happened around the house that the owner didn't know, right? So there's two sides to that. I think you can weigh both ways. But right now, when it comes to affordability in the nation, but especially here in Northeast Florida, as one of the top markets, as we're seeing all this literature come out about us, new construction is there, especially for the incentives, but for a first-time home buyer, it gives them that peace of mind that you're talking about.
Yep, new construction is affordable. It's affordable. The rates are good. I'm having VA buyers move into houses with nothing down at all
Right.
closing costs covered and a low payment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The end of the year last year, we had 3.99 interest rates for the whole end of the year. It was crazy.
Right.
And people were getting in houses that cost $350,000 to $400,000 for under $2,500 a month.
Right.
Under $2,600 a month, I want to say.
Well, it just gives some perspective. When I was working with another large builder here from a lending side, it was. We were commonly, payments with taxes and insurance and everything were in the 2000s. But obviously, with the interest rates higher, it's nothing to be talking about a $3,000 or $4,000 payment when you throw all that stuff in there because of the rates and obviously the cost of homes.
It's like a $500 difference in a payment versus if you have to go with an OSL, right? Normally. But I love my OSLs because my OSL.
Well, what's your OSL? Define
outside
that. Outside lender. Okay, I was like, I figured that's what it was.
Yeah,
but.
So it's an outside lender. So I love my outside lenders because it's a lot of deals that the builder can't get done. They're so strict. They're ruled. They have a lot of rules. So they can't get some of the tougher buyers done. And I gotta have my OSL.
Yeah.
Outside lenders, I have to have them.
We're certainly going to talk to you about that today and picking up some of those ones that they aren't perfect. They're the round peg trying to get in the square hole type thing, but let's still get them in home because you're in a new subdivision on the north side of Jacksonville where you're probably going to have probably a lot of active duty. Right, but also some first-time home buyers.
A lot of first-time home buyers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now you said you're working with a community down in St. Augustine that has the RV garage.
Oh yeah, that's another new community at Richmond. We opened a lot of new communities this year. We have a lot of new communities coming. But yes, it's called Brookstone RV garages. They got houses. 3,000 square feet. So I would just want to tell y'all all the floor plans. Yeah. But it's like you guys talking about what is a Daniel? What is a
right?
They ask me, so it's kind of hard to just say, I got a Daniel, a Hanson, this,
well,
that.
It gives everyone a perspective of what you're dealing. You're dealing where one subdivision is in an area where there's more first-time home buyers. Some of our active duty coming from the naval base or air station. And then, going down towards St. Augustine, St. Johns County, you've got a totally different client there, totally different price point. You got RV garage. Now, whether I had an RV or not, I'd like to have an RV garage because it's a great workshop, right?
Yes.
Tight space. Or if you got toys, you get
toys. That's the biggest seller there. You got boats. You got an RV. You got motorcycles. You want to have a workshop, like you said. That's the biggest sell there. I say St. Augustine. I say people with boats. They want that.
I really, in my opinion, just to throw that out there, I wish we get more towards the auxiliary dwelling unit. That we start zoning more properties to have the over the garage apartment or that sort of thing. Because again, going back to affordability, people need that space not only for extended family. Maybe they have to bring the mother-in-law in. That's why it's called the mother-in-law suite, right? Or they just have a space where they can rent out, offset their mortgage a little bit, but also give a reasonable price rental for someone who's just, maybe a single person looking for a studio or something like that. I wish we would get more that way, hopefully in the near future.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I love the mother-in-law suite. I feel like everything is kind of just cookie cutter.
Yeah. Well, you see that more up north, the auxiliary dwelling unit, where they have the over the garage.
That area with the
well, no, I mean up Michigan, New England.
You get a lot of that.
Yeah, older neighborhoods there where it's common that you kind of have we call it the back alley, but because the street goes, there's a garage with an apartment over top that they're renting out, whether it's the family or just
basement. You don't get no basement.
Just for some young people just trying to get started in their lives and just need a reasonable place to live. All right, let's dig into you a little bit. Where does Jerry? So you've been in real estate now for almost 5 years, right? I saw LinkedIn correctly.
That's about right. 2021. Where are we in now?
Right. So what led you to real estate? What was it about? What were you doing? And then started real estate and got involved.
So honestly, I was actually serving. I was a server, and I had a lot of side hustles. Like I told you, remember I worked in the past on a bunch of credit. I would help people with credit, and one day somebody asked me like, why won't you get your real estate license? You're always helping people with their credit, or you love helping people. You do a great job at Top Golf. You're getting involved in events. When I was back home, I was working at an axe throwing place, and I used to put a bunch of stuff together with all my people, and put the community together, run events, all that kind of stuff. And one day somebody just asked me, like, you should get your real estate license. And then as time went on, I thought about it. I'm like, all right, I might get my real estate license. I'm working with people.
So who do you first, do you go and, was this someone that was in real estate that was making this recommendation to you, or?
Yeah, it was actually one of my best friends. He had his real estate license, but he wasn't putting it to use.
Right.
So he was like, you should get your real estate license. Like, you could probably really be good at it because you're outgoing, and you'll probably do the crazy things. And so I got my real estate license. It took me like a solid 3 months to get it, get past everything, take the test and all that good stuff.
Did you go investigate? Did you go and maybe sit down and have coffee with a real estate agent? Did you find someone that you could really pick your brain? Because your friend wasn't really
nobody
active.
really dropped gems for me, so I just came into it. Right. Just like if somebody out there thinking about getting in real estate right now, I came out here just like one of those people. Right. Just I wanted to know what it was about, and nobody really want to drop gems and tell you the real juice and how much money you can really make. So honestly, I got into it like cold, like no help.
So where do you go first? Obviously, you got to hang your sign somewhere, or hang your license somewhere.
So where I went first was, who did I meet when I went there? Was it Darcy? I don't remember who it was that I met when I went to Red Zone. Mm-hmm. But I went to Red Zone, and I forgot who I met. But Red Zone, I played football and basketball and all of that good stuff, so that just sounded like a good fit for me. It felt like it could have structure. Right. It felt really good. I felt like I could really have structure if I went and worked for a place that, everybody need to be in the office. We need to do this. We need to do that. Right. So I went, and I started at Red Zone, and then I worked on Jason Babin's team. I don't know if he's in real estate anymore. Mm-hmm. He should be, but I worked for his team with Rohan. I don't know if you ever met Rohan Joseph. No. I worked with them for a while, and then that started to fall apart there at Red Zone. And while I was there, I met Haley Davis. So from there, after that fell apart, I went with Haley Davis, and then we went over to Compass. Right.
What were so looking back now, obviously you seem to be in your groove here with the site agent stuff. Do you feel that experience being on the retail side of things, hitting the street every day versus the site agents, two different animals, but it's aided you in your success working with the builder, having that couple years of understanding what the agents that are bringing you clients are going through? Mm-hmm.
So as a site agent, you're in that office every single day. Mm-hmm. I work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You have no days off. But what the builder really gave me was structure. It gave me real structure that I needed. Because when I was in general real estate, I'm working when I want to work. I got my hands in 50 different baskets versus being able to focus on one thing. When I came to the builder, I was able to quit that serving job and just focus directly on real estate. Because when I was in general, I was, I had a bounce house business. I was doing credit. I was working a serving job. Sometimes I wouldn't do real estate, and sometimes I did.
You were surviving.
I was surviving. I was doing everything I can, and when I came to a builder, it really gave me that structure that I really needed to just focus on one thing.
So if it's for people out there listening, I think this is important for someone, think about getting into real estate, but I don't know what to do. Now, there are some real estate teams that I could recommend to you that create a structure of, hey, everyone needs to be in the office at 9 o'clock because we're going to do this for the next couple of hours. There are a few brokerages that I definitely could go that way. But the builder, what's nice about the builder is your W-2, you got health benefits, you've got all the things that site, that model is your office. That's your corporate office right there for you. And what's nice about it is, you don't have a boss there every day unless the boss is assigned to your side. But you may have a partner because obviously sometimes you need 2 or 3 people to cover a certain neighborhood.
It gets real sticky in the builder game too. Like, it's not easy in the builder industry. Like, a lot of people think, if I go work for a builder, like, sales are just gonna come to me. Right. That's not true. Yeah. You really gotta work, and you want to know every realtor out there, but then you gotta know that it's 20 other site agents that work, or maybe more than that works for the same builder as you. So you want to make sure you're registering buyers, because look, say you go to Aspen Trails today and I don't get to see you,
right,
and my partner registers you, now you got to work with that person. Or if a realtor brings a buyer that I know that they were supposed to be bringing that buyer to me, and another person registers them, then now they
all right. So here's the question, and then I don't know the answer to this, but your goal is try to build some relationship with these realtors who have clients that fit your neighborhood on a regular basis. Maybe they're close by, or just that's the buyers they attract, and your neighborhoods are for it. So you try to create that relationship. Do you want that agent to call you and say, hey, I've got John and Sally, we're coming over on Saturday, or maybe we're coming over on Monday and you're off? Are you able to register them and it's still your deal?
If one of my realtor partners hit me up and say, Jerry, I need to come tomorrow, and I know I'm not working on, like, say I don't work on Monday, Tuesday. Right. If they need me on Monday, I'm gonna get up and go Monday, and I'm gonna register them. I could work it, because it's my lead, versus if they just
you'll just come in just, for that appointment and take care of that.
I would come in for my appointment and take care of that and leave. So it's a lot of little stuff that goes on. It's not easy. You really got to grind.
That's real estate.
That's real estate. You're right.
Yeah, if you're on the retail side, you're doing the same exact thing. At least on Monday and Tuesday, you can breathe a little bit, because you obviously chose Monday and Tuesday because they're a little bit slower time. You're now been there a couple of years. I imagine a less senior agent covers Monday and Tuesday.
No, it's not like that.
No,
it's a good. I feel like you can work, because
Who's covering the place today?
My partner's there today.
Yeah, have they been in the business as long as you have?
They probably been in it longer than me.
Okay, so they chose other days to be off.
I mean, that's just my days. I got this person that I'm working with now is newer, so I got seniority, so I get to pick the days I could work. But
that's what I'm saying.
I did work on Monday, Tuesday, and it was like last year I worked all Monday, Tuesday.
Right. Well, some people might want to have Wednesday and Thursday off,
and it was good. Hey. I mean, I sold a lot of houses last year too with working Monday, Tuesday. So
there's no doubt you kind of have the overflow. Maybe someone didn't greet them, or they looked at other neighborhoods, and all of a sudden Monday they come by and they go, we got to make a decision. They go, oh my God, this is our neighborhood, and you're there on a Monday.
Exactly.
You just don't. It's sales, right?
And when I was in general real estate, I'm working when I want to work. I got my hands in 50 different baskets versus being able to focus on one thing. When I came to the builder, I was able to quit that serving job and just focus directly on real estate.
Right. Tell us a little bit about what you've learned in, spreading the love basically on the realtors that are regularly bringing you business. Is that something that, obviously they were training you up front, or maybe obviously you probably mentored with somebody when you first started at Richmond, to show you the ropes kind of thing? Or is this something that you kind of figured out on your own?
So, I mean, obviously they always teach and they preach, building relationships, but the builder don't, make you go get those relationships and make you an outgoing person. You actually got to go out there and really build
in your own creative way.
And in a creative way. It's not easy to build realtor relationships because they don't trust you in the beginning. It's like, I feel like some of the realtors think that all of the site agents are out to get them because of builders' rules. But if we just do it the right way and, we talk about this, we could really make it happen.
Right.
I try to create value to my realtors by doing closing videos with them and making content, because I want them to look good too, just like you make people look good.
I appreciate that.
You make people try. You make people look amazing. You make people feel wonderful. Like, you make me feel like, ever since I stepped in here, you made me feel good. You made me feel like this is my home. So when my realtors come, I want to make them feel like, look, this is your home. Anything you need, I got you. You want to come do content, I got you. You want to come talk rates and promote a house, I got the house and I got you, and I'm gonna help you do it. Whatever you need to do, I got you. And I do that for my realtors. It's very important because the realtors are my net worth, I want to say.
Right. Well, I will quote someone that was on here recently, and it will come to me who it was. Oh, I think it was Jonathan Lickstein. Your network is your net worth.
Yes, sir.
That's right. A great quote there. How you said sometimes the agents are a little, hostile. They think you're in it for you and the builder, and obviously they think they're there for the buyer, which hopefully they are. How do you disarm them? How do you get them to love Jerry?
Honestly, I got to be myself. I control what I can control. That's it, because I got realtors that come in sometimes that just never met me before. They never met me before, and they come in, they probably think I'm young. I don't know what I'm talking about. it's hard to disarm some of these realtors. Some of them come in, some of them like got this attitude where like, we're going to use my lender and, I don't want you to talk about your interest rates. I just want you to sell this house. And, sometimes I run into that.
Right.
And it's like, I don't know if they know. I don't know if they think I'm against them. Like, look, I'm on your side. I'm going to ask for what you want. Right. It's not my money. Whatever you need, whatever the buyer needs.
So you use like a little jujitsu, right? Use their own body weight against them. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, I can see where they come in. Oh, we're gonna do it, and you just like, okay, yeah, whatever. But in reality, and they know in reality, to get this deal done, you're going on Richmond and Jerry's path.
Exactly.
To get it done.
And obviously, I work for Richmond. You know what I'm saying? So I got to follow their rules. And we did just get bought by Sakasui House, but I'll talk about that later. But I follow their rules, but the realtors sometimes come in and they really think that I'm not out to get the buyer. Like, this is your buyer. Look, you tell me if this is your buyer, you know everything about them. You tell me what you need, and I'm going to let you know if I can get it done. So if I deal with a realtor that is just really standoffish, look, let's look at the houses, tell me what you need, and I'll get it done. And by the end of that 30 days, when it's time to close, you're going to love me. Because if we go under contract, I'm going to make this the easiest process in the world for you. When you call me, like, Jerry, I need this. Why wasn't this? No, I'll get it to you right now. It's like.
Right. Well, I think you bring up a good point is the mindset that agents should have. If you're an agent and you're bringing someone to site agents, a new construction model, you have to be in the center. You're bringing them there that they may say, yeah, this is what we want to do. Maybe you showed them a bunch of existing homes. It wasn't there, or maybe you got a first-time home buyer and you need the incentives or obviously the lower interest rate to get the payment down, whatever those things are. So you're coming there. If you're coming there with the expectation that you don't want them to buy there, then don't bring them there.
Exactly.
Because it's new construction. It's like bringing someone, trying to sell someone a used car and then bringing them over and let them smell the leather in the new car. They're totally on the new car.
Totally different. You get totally stuck.
Yeah. So having the mindset that Jerry and the site agents are collaborators. You have the same goal. You have the same buyer. It's just now you have a team and you just have two buyers agents working together to please the same customer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've had realtors steer some buyers it's maybe new realtors, but they'll steer the buyer away. They'll scare them, make it feel. They made me feel like a monster sometimes, the new people.
Right.
But like I said, as I get,
it's like, why did they bring him there?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And then once I start talking, if I get in my spill, when I'm showing you new construction, I'm telling you about the payment and about everything I can do for you, because I can do so much working for this builder. I can get you what you need.
Yeah.
Like, what do you need to buy a house?
You have more flexibility than the average just regular home seller who's selling their own home.
Any of my realtors, when they come in, I'm telling them, what's going on? What does your buyer need? What do they want? And they say, I need to get, as close to 2,300 as possible. In my head, I'm like, I know I got 12 different floor plans. In my head, I automatically go down to the 3 floor plans that I know is going to keep you under 2,300. So they can come see those, and I'm not going to show them something better because I want to keep them on track.
Do you like it? Because, like I said, you've built some relationships with people that bring you regular business.
Oh, yeah.
When they call you and tell you a little bit about their buyer before they get there?
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that because if they tell me, they want a single level house, it cancels all the 2 stories out. If they tell me they want a house under, like I said, 2,300, I could look at the houses that's under 2,300 and maybe one that's 24.
Well, because I think you haven't been in sales most of my life.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do, I call it a TO, turnover. And if I'm an agent and I'm bringing you a customer and I call Jerry, hey, I got this person, here's her criteria. She really wants this. He really wants this. I know you got some stuff over there. When they come and they show up and you greet them as if you've already met them because you've already got some information. Mm-hmm. Hey, it's great to know you. So Tracy told me that you guys are really looking for something like that. They feel like you guys are a team.
Exactly.
And it's a soft handover, and it's like, hey, these guys are taking care of me. They're working behind the scenes to get me what I want.
Yep, and then it'll open them up a little bit and make them talk. Like, oh yeah, well, I'm really looking for like this 3-2, but I really need a 4, and I'll take them through their options and let them know what they can get over there.
Because there, no doubt, when they go from, they may have told me some things, and I thought I had everything, but then when you greet them and have the information that I've already prepped you with, then they're like, well, we thought about that and now we want the 4 bedrooms because they may not have told me that because they've already told me they wanted 3 baths. So we've been 3 bedrooms. So we're showing 3 bedrooms all over the place, and they didn't want to tell me 4 because they think it would like tick me off because I just wasted a bunch of time in the 3 bedrooms. But they'll tell you that.
They'll tell me that.
Yeah.
And I might know something and that happens very often where the buyer says something to the realtor and they tell me, and that's another big thing. Like, I don't want my realtors coming back to me like, why would you tell the buyer this or show them that? And I'm immediately, look, this is what they said and this is what I showed them. And, I didn't know they wanted a 4.
Do you if you do have that situation where you're working with them and you're with them, but the agent isn't. Maybe the agent's got an appointment and they're not with them at that point, right? Are you calling the agent and briefing them on what happened while they were with you?
Absolutely. Yeah. And all my realtors know, and if I know they're probably gonna watch this, they all know, right? If you send me a buyer, I'm calling you probably 5 minutes after they leave with everything that happened, whether they liked it or not, what they want, if they're ready to go under contract. Like, I'm not going to make them go under contract right then and there. I'm going to call the realtor first, and I want the realtor to be a part of this decision for them so they can call them. My realtors really make it really easy for me. Like, the ones where I'm doing 5 or 6 deals a month with, they make it really, really easy for me. They help me. If it's something that I don't want to talk to the buyers about, I can call a realtor or vice versa, So they make it very easy for me. So I brief them on the whole situation.
So agents, I think what we're getting to here, it's very important. Maybe go out to lunch with your site agent that you like to, or maybe go sit in the mall, bring them some Starbucks or something, bring them lunch, right? Sometimes it might get lonely there on some days, or it's so cold right now. Nobody's probably looking at houses right now, right? But you'll go and sit down with them, and if it's a neighborhood that's in your wheelhouse, and you're going to bring numerous clients a month to this site agent, to have that rapport. How do we want to hand off? What information do I want from you through the process as a retail agent to the site agent? So you build that relationship so you do look like a team, and just makes the customer experience, because I think you would agree, if I'm a retail agent, I'm bringing you that customer.
Word is very important. Customer experience.
Give them a great customer experience. That Jerry and Tracy did this great things for me, that when I go, whether it's 2 years or I got friends who are looking to buy, you need to come to the neighborhood, but you call Tracy. Tracy's going to hook you up with Jerry. Even though I have a relationship with Jerry, they know that Tracy did what he's supposed to do on his side, and we're going to get into that here in a moment. And then obviously Jerry and they work hand in hand and just made everything great.
Everything great.
Yeah. That's really the result as a agent that you want out of that transaction with the builder. They had a wonderful time.
Exactly, because I like I said, I did a lot of deals in the last 2 years, and it was some deals that was rough. Because it was like that communication wasn't there, or you couldn't talk. But that happens. Like, you're not going to have a bunch of good ones. Obviously, it's getting good now where my realtors just call me. They tell me the buyer's name, I register them, show the house, and just go from there.
Right. Try
to make everything great and easy.
But it's a little easier when the agent just has I don't want to say a positive attitude towards it, or not be, defensive. I don't, whatever it is when they come in there. But
it's something they went through in the past.
Yeah.
I don't know what they went through in the past, but it's something that these realtors went through that makes them like that.
Yeah.
And
it was talk in the office at the water cooler, and they're like, the builders over there, bro. The builders are, go in there and they're going to try to screw you, so be prepared.
I make my realtors feel loved, and I'm not screwing no realtors. I literally love my realtors. Like, anything Richmond's dropping as far as bonuses or new houses or whatever,
you're letting them know right away.
I'm letting all my realtors know. So if they got some buyers, send me the name. I'm gonna register them for you.
Right.
And that's your buyer. Like, I love my realtors, so I gotta, I take care of them, and they take care of me. I take care of them. So
there was a period of time there before you got in, because when I was with the lending side of the large builder, there was a period of time where there was builders who really wanted to, made the agents feel they were getting screwed out of their commission. Like if they were showing someone around and then someone just happened to be driving home and they stop by your neighborhood and they've already been out looking at homes with Sally over here, but then they drive by your neighborhood on the way home and go, oh, I didn't notice that neighborhood. And they drive in, they were like, oh no, we're going to screw you out. No, you weren't here when they came in. And it's like, no, I'm their representative. Now so they felt there was this thing. And I think prior to the rates really rising in, spring of 22, people were rolling in and buying the new construction. They were really busy. Then obviously as rates went up and things started to slow down, then they started going out and say, oh, agents, come, we love you, we love you. And hopefully it will continue no matter what, that they've learned that love is better than, hey, we don't want you involved, to now, oh my God, we really need you. And let's balance it out.
That was a big thing when I got to the builder. Like the realtor has to be with the buyer to register them. But if you call in now, like if you call me, I can register and set up an appointment with us and the buyer, so you don't got to deal with that. But that's going on sometimes, where some builders out there, where I hear it from my realtors, they'll tell me, oh, they don't pay us. Like if this house had a 1% commission fee on it, nobody would come look at it.
Right.
And that's true. Like everybody's working hard. Like we want to take care of everybody. And if everybody just takes care of everybody, we will never have these issues. It could be so easy. Like it's so much things that I could even say, maybe if Richmond did, we would be the best, but they're highly focused now on customer experience.
Right. And
that's very important to me. Is like, if you can focus on customer experience and realtor experience, we going to be on the top of the world.
So if an agent called you, and if I called you, hey, Jerry, I'm working with John and Sally here. They want to come by and see your subdivision tomorrow, but I've got a doctor's appointment. Can I get them registered?
Absolutely. You can get, now, some builders, I don't know, but if you called me and said that, and as long as that buyer is not in the system or registered to any other site agent, I can register that buyer and show
and put my name on it,
and then call you like, this is what happened. Like you got life. Right. Life happens. Like you can't just take advantage of people because of life.
Walk me through, and I imagine you guys probably talk about this a little bit at your sales meetings or over the years. I can only imagine at new construction. When an agent walks in, and let's say they haven't called you and told you they were coming, they just walk in on a whatever day, you greet them, the agent's there. How should the agent hand the buyers off to you? How should they prep? How should they set the expectation and do that handoff and then shut up? Okay. Right? I mean, would you agree? A lot of them just need to just stay in there and listen and let you do what you're supposed to be doing as Richmond's representative and selling it, and not interfere with that. And if they have a disagreement, to talk to you afterwards, and then obviously then you can approach the buyer together and say, oh, I misspoke, or I forgot to tell you about it, and your agent reminded me this.
Yeah.
So how should that hand off? How do you guys?
A lot of my top site agent, or not site agents, but a lot of my realtors that I do a lot of business with, how I like it when they come in is they come into the door and they say, this is my buyer, so and so. This is what they're looking for, because while they're saying all of that stuff, I know every floor plan by Richmond.
Right.
Like I've been studied these floor plans.
Right. Maybe it's the neighborhood.
Back and forth. Maybe it's another neighborhood.
Right.
But they tell me they want this house. They need a 4.3 or a 5.3 or bigger or lower, and they're looking to stay around like $2,300 a month and use your lender. Then I'm like, okay, everything pops up. So now it's easy for me to talk to that buyer, versus when a realtor, and this happens, a realtor, I wouldn't even know this is the realtor sometimes. It was one time I didn't even know it was a realtor. But the realtor comes in with the buyer, just don't say nothing. It's so awkward. I'm like, oh, hello?
So the first thing the realtor should do is come in and introduce themselves. Hey, I'm so-and-so with XYZ Realty.
We're looking for...
And then introduce their customers.
And they don't even got to say payment. They could just be like, we're looking for this. And if I got it, let me show you, because and if they're trying to stay somewhere for a monthly payment, I'm going to let you know where we going to be at if we did use my lender. But I say just tell me what you need, because, I was trying to tell you the story. So I had a realtor come in and they didn't say nothing. They just came in with the buyer, and I'm like, hey, and I'll break the buyer down when we stand there. Hey, what you looking for? And I'm very open and I want to talk. But then the realtor be like, oh, how are you? What's your name? Oh, I'm their realtor. And I'm like, come on, like you gotta be like that, man. You should have told me that when you first came in.
Right.
If you a realtor, you supposed to have that. How you doing? You supposed to take charge.
Well, first of all, she'd have your name tag on.
Yes, agreed.
But they should. But I agree with you. So realtors, if you're listening, and I know a lot of us are bashful, I can be the same way. When I walk into a room initially, I like to evaluate what's going on, but you are in control of the situation. You come into Jerry's or any other site agent's model. First thing you should do is go directly to them, introduce them who you are, because I will tell you this, and Jerry, I think you'd agree because you've seen it. Mm-hmm. If you don't take control like that, come immediately in, introduce yourself. I'm a realtor. I'm with whomever, and this is my buyers here. If you don't do that, you're making your buyers feel very uncomfortable.
Yeah, and they like, are you here with me? Like, you're supposed to be representing me.
Right.
So I love when my realtors come in and take charge, because then you don't have the issue of the buyer just reaching directly out to me and trying to communicate. Then they try to reach out to both of us because they know that you're a part of this as well. Mm-hmm. So when you come in and you take charge, I'm okay with that. I'm not mad.
Well, also, would you agree that, as an agent representing a buyer coming into a new construction, that if the buyer doesn't feel that their agent has a open line of communication, has no problem calling Jerry and say, hey, my clients are nervous about this. Can you see what's going on? If they don't, they're going to skip you, the agent, and go right to Jerry, the site agent. Because exactly. Jerry has the answers. But if you go in and you show them, hey, you're up front, maybe you've never met Jerry before, or I'm using Jerry here as, I think, for any site agent, but go in and you taking control. They now know that you and Jerry, you saw the two of them shake hands, and they know who each other are.
Exactly, and a lot of my realtors, they do that. I say my realtors because it's like I'm built, instead of having to go out there and get the buyers, I go out there and get the realtors. But
yeah,
like general. But yeah, they come in and they be like, this is my partner Jerry, and he's with Richmond, and they have their different partners at other builders too. Yeah. But when you come in like that, my realtors do that, and I love it, because when they say I'm their partner, it makes me feel good. It makes me look good. It makes her look good because she got a good partner. Mm-hmm. It's just an easy transaction, and everybody's at ease versus it. You don't want it to be hot,
right?
And weird. I like it weird.
100. Yeah. Well, the bottom line is your buyers will feel uncomfortable. Go in and break the ice. Find Jerry. Hopefully, Jerry's looking for you. But like you said, sometimes you don't is this your sister or is this your agent? Who is this person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your auntie, uncle.
Yeah,
brother.
Exactly.
It's always something. And obviously, when people say after I done show the whole house and I'm talking, I'm on my fetch, I'm doing my thing, and they're quiet, and they say, oh no, I'm the realtor. It just, a big thing pops in my head, you the realtor, you didn't say nothing this whole
How
time.
difficult is it for an agent to find out who the site agents are for a particular name? So if they're at home and they know, okay, I'm going out and showing these houses, and they want to stop by this subdivision, how hard is it for them to pull up, say on Richmond's site and see who the...
It's really hard to do that. If you don't
Richmond doesn't like to advertise that particular...
They don't advertise that. So, I advertise myself. So, if you wanted to come get a house with Richmond and you don't know Jerry... or if you go in and get a house with any builder and you're just, you got to call in. If you don't have the connections, you got to call in, and most likely.
Can they get the phone number to the subdivision, to your site office?
Nope, it's going to go to our corporate office.
Okay, and they're going to route it.
And they're going to, if I'm working, say it's a Wednesday or Thursday,
right,
and I'm working, it's going to come to me. But if it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's me and my partner. So if my partner's up next for the next appointment, if you called in, you're going to go work with my partner. It's not saying that's a bad thing.
Right.
Because it's enough.
They're coming in blind, but I guess I was leading to, I think agents need to do their due diligence, and that might be, especially for new agents, you should be going around to these new subdivisions and meeting the site agents and just say, hey, I'm a new agent. I want to learn what you got, because I oftentimes get first-time home buyers, and you got a neighborhood that's great for them, whatever it is. They go around, and then obviously they know your name. Mm-hmm. Now they've got your card. Now they got your number in there, so they know someone's coming, that they can call you directly. Say, Jerry, I got somebody today. We're going to come over. We're going to be there probably around 11 o'clock. You're going to be available.
Exactly.
Boom.
All my new agents too. Any new agent that comes to me, I love them because they're new and they want to work. So I'm whatever you need, you want to come do content. I make the new agents feel good, so they know, if they got a buyer, they might not even need to come to my community yet. They just don't know yet. And I got a buyer that want a 5-bedroom, and they can just come. Go show that house.
Right. So tip number 1. Now I think I'm going to say tip number 1. We've given out a lot of tips here. Find out who's in the subdivision, if you can, before you even go over there, because it just makes you, one, you already maybe I totally off guard. The customers come in and they want to see houses tomorrow, and I don't know anyone in that subdivision in the area they're walking in. So if I call corporate when you guys open in the morning on Saturday morning, for example, let's say they got a hold of me late Friday night, I go, oh, okay, I got to bring them over there. I can call the main number and say, I'm an agent and I need to go to this. What's your new subdivision on the north side?
Aspen Trails.
Aspen Trails. I want to be connected with the Aspen Trail site, model.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to connect me. One of you or your partner are going to answer the phone. So now you go, oh, I just spoke. So now when you bring your customer and you walk in, you're looking for Jerry. Hey, we're going to go see Jerry at the Aspen Models.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It just gives you a level of credibility in that you've done your due diligence.
Yeah, and you're not just walking in, like you said, walking in blind is terrible.
Right.
When you walk in and you know what this builder has versus what this builder has, and knowing the differences, like I said, a lot of the top realtors, they know, oh, Richmond has this, or Lennar has this, or D.R. Horton has this. It's like something that every builder has.
Do you have a lot? I know they do their tours and stuff, but really have agents, on their downtime where, like you said, you've been a new agent, young agent, and you had a lot of time. What do I do with that time? We'll go by. And do you have a lot of agents just stop by and say, hey, I just want to know what kind of products, what are you building here?
That a lot of agents. I have a lot of agents.
You do have some good traffic from agents
I do get
on off
traffic
time.
from agents, and they come by,
Mm-hmm.
and they want to know what we have. I show them the models, tell them all the floor plans that's coming, tell them that we're gonna have. I give them all the information they need.
Right.
So if they come across a buyer,
they're bringing them over.
They're
Now,
calling me.
all right. So talking to other site agents who may be listening here, what is your method? I come walking in. I say, I'm a new agent, just got started. I want to learn, what your subdivision's all about. You give me all the information. I leave. What do you do?
I'm gonna follow up with you.
You're gonna follow up with? I imagine Richmond's got a CRM, right? They got.
Yeah, we got a CRM.
You're loading everybody in.
Oh, I'm putting everybody in. If I got a new agent, I'm making sure I got your number. So next week I'm gonna hit you up and say, look, I'm having a little event, or we're about to do headshots just to get you back out. So you're building that relationship with me.
Right.
I'm doing this, or let's go grab coffee and talk about this, because I see if I see potential in somebody, it's a lot of good realtors out there. They just don't know they are yet, some of the younger ones. And when they come to me and they ask me how do I do it and ask me a bunch of questions, I'm inviting that same person that's asking me those questions, that's coming and spending that time with me. I'm inviting them out for maybe coffee, or inviting them back to my community, or saying come to this event, just because I know I'm building that relationship, and I know when you got a buyer, you come see me.
One thing that when I was working with a builder, it was a little more of the crazy, a little bit before COVID, a little bit after COVID type period. And I say COVID because I mean spring of 2020 when it started. So into 21, back into, I don't know, I think I started in, was it spring of maybe spring of 18, 19, something like that. And it was crazy. But agents inventory was, it was flying off the shelves, right? Mm-hmm. But what I noticed was, at least the builder that I was working for at the time, but I would bet other builders fall in the same category at that time, was getting out the spec homes that they had available. Because a lot of them were still, obviously pre-COVID, were still building homes based on the order, whatever, where it got to a period where pricing was so crazy they had to go to a lot of spec homes, basically have the home on its way to being built before they sold it, right? Mm-hmm. So sometimes you do have that buyer, hey, I can only afford this much of payment and that sort of thing. They're hot to trot. They're looking at existing homes, but there's no existing homes in the area that fall into that category, but that new construction, and there might be a spec home sitting there, but nobody was telling anybody about it. And I imagine you in Richmond builds, you've got some specs or houses that are already designed, they're already starting construction on and haven't even been sold yet, that they're starting on. Are you reaching out to the agents and saying, hey, this home should be ready in August, this home should be ready in July?
So yes, but right now, Richmond, we're building spec homes. So right now in my community, I probably have 10 houses that you can buy right now, and they're ready, they're done. So
move in the next 30 days.
Ready. So when every week I'm sending out a new price sheet on what I got. Look, this is what I have, and they're all ready to go now. So all my 3.2s, all my 4.3s, every single house I have, I'm sending to the realtor so they know what I have before they even come, and they can close this month. They can close in 30 days. And I'm always gonna have specs.
That's quick turnaround. That you get paid and they get paid.
So I'm always gonna have specs.
Yeah. And speaking about that, have you ever had one of the homes sit because there's, I don't know, just the way they designed it, built it, just wasn't, nobody wanted it?
It's really not the house that doesn't sell, because Richmond builds a pretty good house. Like the houses by Richmond are really nice. So I wouldn't say
they try to stay in style. What people are looking for right now. Try to keep abreast of that.
Really, I see houses sit because of the lot more now. So like when I'm in my community and I'm like, okay, that house is gonna sit. It's gonna sit because it's on a terrible lot. It's not gonna sit because of the house.
Right.
It sits because of the lot size or where it's at.
Right.
But I've never really seen anything.
Yeah, I guess.
Sit for a long time.
I mean, it's gonna happen when you divide up this land. There's obviously more desirable than less desirable.
Yeah, because if you right here and then it's a house behind you over here, it might be a house right there in front of you. You know, that's, people don't want that lot.
What are some tips and maybe there might be some investors, because there are some people that like to go into these very new subdivisions, buy at the buy the first couple of houses, and they're buying it as an investment property because they're gonna rent it out and speculate that by the time the subdivision is done, it's gonna be worth more. What are some ways to to get the best lots? Does Richmond have some way that they're only putting houses on these three, or are they really just open up an entire phase and you can choose anything you want?
So it's different how Richmond does it. We open up a whole phase, but you can't pick any lot you want. You can only pick where we're building at right now. So like if I'm like right now I'm on this half of my community, we can only pick a lot over here.
Right.
And most of
the other phase is not even open yet.
The other phases.
Now if they want to wait till grand opening day, then they can jump in.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Well, I want to clarify so no one gets. I mean, obviously you have an active phase. You got to build out that phase before you get. So you're not even entertaining anyone. If they want something over there, then they have to wait till that phase opens.
They're gonna have to wait till it opens.
But if I come in right now and I'm willing to wait for a house to be built because I want that lot over there because it's on a cul-de-sac, whatever the desirabilities of that lot. Maybe it's a pie shaped and it's bigger or something like that. Whatever it is makes it desirable. Can I do that if no one else has?
If it's in where I'm building at,
right?
Yes,
in active phase.
So right now I got a back wall, and down here's a cul-de-sac, and on the other side is a cul-de-sac, and you can buy that lot right now. So like if it's a cul-de-sac lot in my first phase, you can reserve. You can buy the lot.
Do the builders? Obviously, they go through and evaluate what are the more desirable lots. They're going to be a little bit more.
They are going to be a little bit more.
Yeah. What do you typically see a range? Like, let's just talk about Aspen and in just general, because obviously I'm sure more expensive subdivisions, the lots are bigger or whatever. But let's just take Aspen because it's more of just a generic subdivision there. What would you see typically from the most desirable lot to the least desirable lot? The price swing.
$20,000.
Yeah.
20,000.
Yeah.
So I see, like I got a corner lot that I just recently sold, and that lot was like 25 grand. And then I sold a less desirable lot, and that lot premium was like 15 to 10 grand. I mean, I saw 7 grand before. It just depends all where you at.
Right.
You know, it depends all where.
Well, it's all about location.
It's all about location.
It's a premium lot for different reasons. Obviously, it's view. Maybe it's
the street from you.
Maybe it's in a cul-de-sac, so it widens out a little bit. It's a little bit bigger lot than others.
Longer driveway.
Yeah, longer driveway.
All that stuff, and it's hard to get new construction with a good sized lot right now.
Yeah.
In Aspen, every single one of my lots are on a cul-de-sac or a preserve.
I think many people also need to calculate when I've seen some of these subdivisions with like little to no driveway. It's like, understand if you got kids, they're going to start driving. I mean, you've got to calculate, can I widen that driveway? These are the things that go on. You go buy new construction. Just giving you a tidbit because my kids are getting there. Yeah. And we're lucky that we can widen our driveway, but I've seen some subdivisions like you could barely get a car in that driveway. What if they've got a second driver, a third driver, right? Type of thing. Because too many people are using their garage for storage, and it's not parking your car in there.
It's,
type of thing.
It's tough. It's definitely tough. The space is tough.
Let's go into our the questions here I've got prepared. These will bring up great topics for sure. What's the biggest mindset shift you had when going from retail to new construction sales?
The biggest change, basically.
Well, just your mindset from what you had to what you were doing on Haley's team, and obviously at Red Zone, the things that you did on a daily basis, and I think you mentioned a little bit with structure, and then now you're in a subdivision where you're in a model. What are your day-to-day routines, just the mindset change that you had to take from making that jump? Same license.
Yeah, same license.
But different routines.
So definitely different routines. Like when I get to the office on a Wednesday, the first thing I'm doing is getting on that sales meeting, because now I got to get on the sales meeting every single day. I'm reporting. I have bosses that I have to really report to because I got a brand now. I'm running basically their operations over here. So I need to report to them every. So the first thing that I'm doing when I'm getting in that office, I'm getting on that sales call. After the sales call on Wednesdays, I'm promoting the brand. I'm doing content. I'm getting this brand out there because it's like I'm running my own business. Thursday
is Wednesday kind of setting like, hey, we might have a price range or a raise, or we might do incentive. You're getting that kind of information on Wednesday.
So whatever we're offering. So Mondays I get that information. So when I get in on Wednesday, I'm making videos on we got a 3.99 or we got a 4.99 and we're giving $15,000 in closing costs, or maybe we're doing screened in lanais, or maybe we're like for one of my buyers we epoxied their garage because they were the first buyer in Aspen. We epoxied their garage. Gave them a fence and screened in their porch. So when I'm promoting stuff like that, it drives people to come and want to buy a house this way. Because, why am I going to go buy new construction there when I can go get all of this here?
Right.
So anyways, for my routine, that's what I'm doing. I'm promoting what I got going on Wednesday.
Right.
Thursday, now I'm sitting and I'm working CRM all day. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
So contacting as many agents as possible, following up with buyers who may have come by.
Exactly.
And hopefully they haven't made a decision yet.
Yeah, exactly. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday is when hopefully Thursday or Wednesday got me some type of appointments. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it does. But you just got to keep repeating the process. I repeat that process every week for literally the last 2 years. I do the same thing, and even on Mondays and Tuesdays. Today, Tuesday, look what I'm doing. I'm working. No matter what, I'm working. I always got something going on because if you don't, it's a competitive floor. You ain't gonna stick. You ain't gonna stand out.
It sounds like to me you've discovered that you need to have a lot of conversations. Now, some of that conversation is creating some content. You're actually conversing because you're sending it out through social media. So you're hopefully broadcasting and multiple people will see it. Other times it's just literally one-on-one phone calls or text messages or whatever. Emails.
And you know how many people open up an email out of 1,000 emails that you send? Probably one of them. They probably all get deleted. So,
well, I think I'm sure you've seen the numbers too, where 70% of the agents didn't even write a deal last year. That when you send out an email to 1,000 real estate agents, 700 of them aren't really even probably don't even have a buyer right now. And buyers are actually gold right now.
In real estate anymore because I experienced that where people tell me stop.
Yeah.
And I get a lot of that. But look, it's not going to stop me. I'm going to come back next Wednesday and I'm going to hit it
hard.
Well,
you want to continue receiving Jerry's email. You might not always open it because maybe you don't have a buyer, particularly at that moment in time. But I think it's worthwhile, though, because you never know. As soon as you delete that email, that the phone rings and someone says, and you're like, oh, my God, I just saw this great deal. We should go over here first.
Exactly. I done got buyers. I done got realtors to come see me like that, where I've sent an email, and they've ended up coming out and, hey, I'm actually working with this buyer right now, and we've been looking on the north side all over for this.
Yeah.
Where were you 2 weeks ago? And then we get it now. I got you under contract.
Or they get your spec home list, right? They're getting your spec home list, and they're saying, oh, man, that would actually fit because these buyers need to be in that price point to be at this payment.
Exactly.
All right, site agents have to show up every day with energy even when traffic is slow or deals fall through. What's your approach to staying disciplined and driven?
I watch a lot of motivational quotes, right? And one of my favorite ones is Deion Sanders said you got to master the 3 W's. You got to want it, win it, and work it.
Want it, win it.
Want it, work it, win it.
Want it, work it, win it.
Want it, work it, win it. And I've had 3 deals fall through in 1 month. 4 deals fall through. Deals are gonna fall through. You gotta keep. That's why you don't stop. I sold 2 houses so far this month that we're in right now. I sold 2 houses so far this month. I don't know what can happen with them deals. I'm still going hard right now,
Right.
and wanting everything else that needs to come. I'm wanting it.
There's great excitement under every rock, but there's also some, that deal falls through, and you don't know if maybe the next customer will walk in and they'll take that home, or if you did your due diligence, like you sounds like you do, you know who's interested. They really like that lot and that house, and then that one, but that somebody's already on it. And that deal falls through, and you immediately go, you know what? I remember talking to the Smiths. They really wanted that. Let me see if they're still available.
Exactly.
Let me go call that agent and see if
there's
they're...
so much houses that we have to sell. We have over 150 QMIs. There's no reason for you to stop after your second sale. Like, you can get more deals. So you just got to keep going, because you never know what can happen. And new home sales, what goes through my head is I'm only as good as my last sale.
Right.
So, like, you don't want to get desperate. Like, a lot of site agents may get desperate after they don't sell, and the builder puts a lot of pressure on you sometimes. And you're like, oh, I got to get a sale, so you could push people away. You don't want to do that. It's going to come. If you be patient and you master those 3 W's, you're going to be fine. Something's going to come. If you just stay consistent. It's about staying consistent. And if something falls through, I'm not like, oh.
Because you're doing the consistent communication different ways, whether it's content, calling people, text messages, emails, whatever. You're consistently doing that every day. You're touching. That when a deal falls through,
you got deals that's going to make up for it.
There'll be a deal to make up for it. This is like a great interview question here. Like, if I was interviewing you for a job or something, tell me about a moment in the past 2 years where you had a deal almost fell apart. What did you do to pull it back together?
All right, let me think about that. What was a deal that I had almost fall apart that I had to pull back together?
Yeah.
I had to pull it back together.
Did you have a customer something set them off or something, and then you were able to make something a win for them?
I'm trying to think. I never really had. Well, actually, I'm kind of setting myself up now for that not to happen. Like, when I'm with my buyers, that's why I like when buyers are pre-approved, because then we can just go back to the lender if they get denied. But it was a deal where my buyer got very discouraged and just didn't want to move forward with the process.
Just got cold feet, little buyer's remorse.
Got cold feet. The numbers was too high. They didn't like it, and they just like, I don't want to do it no more. And I'm like, oh my God, like, you're about to lose all of this money. You just put 10 grand down, and you're about to lose it all. So what happened was I invited the buyer back out, and we sat down, and I talked with this buyer. Like, we literally talked about life. We talked about everything. I talked about what I was going through. I talked about when I had a higher mortgage, when I had a lower mortgage. And I told the buyer, look, if you do decide to cancel now, like, I'm going to talk to the builder, I'm going to draft a letter for you, and I'm going to let them know, like, you're going to come back in a few, maybe next year, maybe 6 months, but you'll get I'm going to make sure they can figure out some way to use that money that you're put down, because you're going to lose your money. I'm going to figure out a way to put that money to your next purchase later down the road, if they can. But you just got to buy with Richmond. So I'm going to do everything I can. But what's discouraging you? Like, talk to me. And they were like, my payment's going to be like, it was like $2,200. My payment's going to be like $2,200, and I'm only making $6K a month. And I just don't know. Like, I want to be able to live my life still. And I'm like, so what are you paying now for rent? And she told me she was paying like $2,600 a month for rent.
This is not...
Yeah, I'm like,
shocking, actually.
Yeah,
I was, when you said that, I go, watch her say $2,500.
Yeah. I'm like, so so if you don't get this house right now, where are you gonna go live? Right. And she told me, well, I'm just gonna rent, just because I don't want to have all of the stress and all of the, I just don't want all the extra stuff. And I said, so you're gonna go rent where? And then we started talking about a couple different places, and she was showing me this stuff, and she was about to go rent a house. I'm like, you could literally own your house for $2,200. I said, don't lose that $10K. Buy this house. You can still buy your house, and you're going to love this house. And if you can't afford it, rent it out, and then maybe go do what you're going to do. Maybe go rent then. But if you own property in Florida, like, Jacksonville is it's like the next biggest place in Florida. It's the biggest place in Florida.
Right, yeah. We're as hot as any other place.
It's so hot. Like, they're doing so much here. You're going to have so much value in your house. Your appraisal came back at like $30,000 higher. You already have equity in your house. And and she ended up leaving, and she went and thought about it, but I guess that $10K stuck in her head, and she didn't want to lose that, so she ended up buying a house. I never really had like a very, I can't think of a really, I could think of a lot of bad deals, but I don't want to throw nobody.
Well, no, that shows a lot about you there, and to compliment you. You took time, and she had made a commitment, and that 10K was on the line. I think a lot of people will be like, okay, well, you're going to lose 10K. But you took the time to chat with her and dig deep, and made her really think about this. Actually was a good decision for her, because if the closest rent was $2,600, and you're buying a house for $22, rent out a room if you have to.
Rent out a room.
I think people, obviously I grew up in age, when I was younger. I mean, I shared bedrooms with my siblings, for years until my two older brothers were gone. Then me and my sister, could have our own rooms, right?
I rented out a room in my house for the first. When I bought my first house, I rented out a room in my house and I used Roomster.
Yeah.
I was so nervous and scared. I got a roommate for the first year. He paid me $700 a month. That was like my mortgage was only $1,500-$1,600.
Yeah.
Like half my mortgage. I'm like, that's good. You can do that stuff. So
well, that's how you get started. And then you got equity, and you probably maybe have sold that home and bought a bigger, whatever it is that you want to do. What do most buyers misunderstand about working with the builder, and how do you help them navigate that gap?
So the biggest thing is the lending, because they go get numbers somewhere else, or they're looking at Zillow and they're looking at what monthly payments is, and they don't really know the real. They don't know how much it's actually going to be, how much money they actually have to put down, what it is working with, for example, you versus me. And, with builders, you obviously can't get the Hometown Hero programs and all that good stuff. But what I do is I sit down with my buyers and I'll break down numbers. I'll find out what their situation is, and I'll walk them through, numbers and figuring out that.
Well, you've got the incentives. You guys are doing the incentives from the interest rates, which is really a differentiator, especially for first-time home buyers. It is easy to go. You got a new home, everything's brand new, and then you got this interest rate a percent lower than typically what anybody else is giving is out there. You need to go find an educated agent, and then let that agent bring you to Jerry and walk it through. But they'll find a way. Or at least you get educated. Let's put it that way.
Educate somebody on the numbers, closing costs, down payment. Because some buyers come in and they don't understand. They think it's a down payment assistance program with me sometimes. And it's like, no, that's not what it is.
Okay. From incentives to timeline, there's a lot going on behind the scenes in new construction. What's the hardest part of managing buyer expectations? And I open that up because obviously you're also... You and the what do you call it? You're the Richmond guy who's building the houses, who's watching all the contractors come in. What do you call that guy? The superintendent. The superintendent. I imagine there's a lot of communication between the two of you, so you know what's going on to tell your buyers.
Yeah. So we have walks. So I'm getting with my builder. I'm setting up the walks. I'm letting them know how my buyer is, their personality, what they're expecting, all that stuff. I don't really have a challenge. Once somebody's under contract, it's pretty much with Richmond, it's really, really easy and smooth. And it's a lot of customer experience. I mean, my warranty rep, the builder, me, the realtor, we're all involved throughout the whole.
In 2 years, how many different superintendents have you worked with now?
2.
Just 2?
I've been with my guy Mike for a while, so shout out to Mike. He's a very good builder. So I've been with him. In Irongate, we sold out Irongate. Irongate probably doesn't have a lot of houses, and now we're in Aspen with 447 houses, and it's me and him again. We moved together.
So is that normal? Does Richmond try to keep you together, or just so happen to fall that way?
I mean, we was together in Irongate. Irongate was almost sold out, so it was time for him to get a new community, and obviously it's time for me to get a new community. So it just. Honestly, it probably just fell like that, but I'm happy because he's
because you guys are working, you got a relationship going there, and he knows what he needs. He knows you're going to tell him what he needs to know, and therefore then you can deliver together
versus him having
a more unified experience.
Exactly, and it makes it easier for everybody.
Good. Let's see. Let me scroll up here. You've probably seen buyers walk away from great opportunities. What's one mistake you wish more buyers would avoid when they step into your model home?
One thing that I wish buyers would avoid when they step into my office. I mean, when you step into my office, you're going to be good if I got you.
Well, do they come in maybe with some preconceptions? Maybe the agent led them some way. What is it that you would want buyers to know about, coming in in general? Maybe it's old wives' tales, whether it was, misinformation that they have or misconceptions that they have.
It's really the miscommunication and how we look that we're just trying to sell them, and that, I wish they would not just come in and be like, well, Lennar's doing this, that, and the third. It's like, well, this is what we're doing, and this is what we're doing. Like,
right.
There's nothing I can change about what we're doing.
Right.
So, like, if you don't got to tell me what these other builders are doing, because obviously I can try to, I'm offering you everything I have anyway.
Well, do you guys include all the appliances, right? Washer, dryer.
You already get everything.
I think most builders pretty much do that, right?
Yeah, we'll do
Is there anything? Yeah. Well, I imagine you do stay up with what the competition is doing. Is there other builders? Because I think people have to understand there's different clients for different builders or different subdivisions, right? Aspen is a different client than the subdivision with the RV garages. Two different clients, completely different price points, everything. Probably someone who's on their third or fourth home buying the RV, because if they buy an RV garage, some of them actually have RVs. Yeah. That's an expense. Not everyone could do that. So you got two different clients there, and those subdivisions are being built and they're being priced out, and these corporations like Richmond are studying, hey, what do I need to put in that home to satisfy that level of first-time home buyer, income level, whatever it is. What you were just saying is some builders that do offer a lot of upgrades, just like a standard, or they seem to be upgrades as a standard, where other builders, you got to go and choose those upgrades manually that you're going to do. But each of them is really looking at different clients. Now, there may be a client that overlaps those two because they're not too far apart. So I imagine that's when they come into you and say, well, this builder over here is doing this. But, how much of a leeway do you have to actually do that?
I get a lot of leeway. So, if I have a buyer that comes in and say, well, this builder's doing this, that, getting pendant lights, this, that, and the third, I'm like, okay, well, we can build your house. Because standard, you're not going to get the pendant light. Standard, we're going to get the high ceilings, the high doors. This is what we have as a QMI. You're going to get, 9-foot ceilings, 8-foot doors, refrigerator, stove, microwave, dishwasher, all that good stuff. You get wood look tile floors. If you want all the extra stuff, come on, let's build your house. Let's put the stuff in there.
Right.
Because somebody got to pay for it.
Right.
We can't pay for everything, but we'll throw the pendant lights in there and you can customize your house. So that's
right. And it may come out to the same price or close or better than the other guys doing. It's just Richmond comes in with a model that has options.
Exactly.
And telling you, now I will tell, as you probably have seen, don't go in there and blow out your options because you may overbuild your house.
You may overbuild your house and end up having to come out of pocket more than...
Right, because it may not appraise.
Exactly. You have to pay the difference. You're responsible for it. If you want to build you a mega house, you have to pay the mega price. Mega price.
Yeah, you may not be able to get all the lending for it and more money out of pocket. Yep. How does your personal brand help you stand out from other site agents, and why does it matter in today's market?
All right, that's a big one. Because with my videos and my content, I try to show a customer experience, and it's a customer and a realtor experience. So every buyer, they're seeing, oh, that buyer had a great experience with Jerry, and then every realtor is saying, oh my God, Jerry's doing a video with a realtor too. So it's like a double experience. Like I'm making a buyer look good, and I'm making a realtor look good, because when the buyer sees the video, they want to show their family, and when a realtor sees the video, other realtors are seeing it obviously too. Right. So that drives me so much business. Alone off social media, I probably get, after I post a video, realtors will probably hit me up. I'll probably average about maybe 20 more sales a year just off of social media. It's very important. People want to know they're working with somebody that knows what they're doing, knows what they're talking about, and they're seeing all these great experiences. So,
well, I liked it because I'm going to kind of tag onto it, which I think is just because you didn't describe it specifically, is you're showing a win, a satisfied client. You're showing it. I don't think the builders show those winning situations often enough. So you're actually, this unicorn out here who's showing, hey, I'm with a builder and I've got a satisfied client, because they all want to talk about the customers who were on, whatever, something went sideways or they misunderstood or whatever, that it was a bad experience. You're actually showing there are good experiences with working a builder. Come see me and you'll get the same.
Exactly, and I'm going to give you the best experience. Just like everybody else getting this experience, I'm going to do this for everybody.
For agents who send buyers to do construction sites, what separates the professional from the amateurs? What do the best agents do right?
The best agents, number one, they know how to give some good, accurate numbers. Number two, they got their OSL lenders. They got the dog OSL lenders. So obviously they got the lenders that can do the tougher deals. Having them people in your back pocket, just great relationships.
They come in and actually look for you and shake your hand, like we were talking about earlier.
They like you getting up out of your seat and you're greeting buyers. You're excited. You're not selling from desperation, because honestly, it can get really tough and you can go months without sales, especially when they stop cross-selling and you can't cross-sell nowhere. You can go months without sales and your fingers could be itching for the sale. You can get desperate. It's just, staying calm,
we're talking about the actual agents bringing you clients. What do the pros do versus the amateurs? What do you see versus, that agent that does business like Daniela Tone? I know she's huge in this Hispanic area, does a lot of deals, and versus that newer agent coming in. What advice can you say, hey, this is what the pro does? If you want to be a pro, I would do more of what this person does.
I feel like I'm still working on myself. I still want to be better. Even though I could be selling all these houses, I still want to be better. But I say a pro, what could a pro do? I go to every event. I support everybody.
We're talking about the agent.
The agent.
You see, so you're the site agent. You see different levels of agents come in.
Yeah.
You see some agents that are really good, that like have their customers eating out of their hand. They're so good.
Okay.
Versus the amateurs where things are a little, you can just tell when it comes in, things are not bonding with, everybody at that moment.
So what could I tell those agents?
What can you tell other agents that, hey, this is what the pro does, and this is what I see as an amateur, as someone's the third party standing out there and seeing these two different groups
obviously
come in.
What the pro do is you reach, you know your buyer. Really, that's the biggest thing, is know your buyer, come in confident. And
well, I think knowing your buyer, I think definitely the difference between the pro and amateur is really grinding and having that buyer consultation.
The buyer consultation.
Having a really good buyer consultation, so when they walk in, they can tell you exactly what they want. These are their hot points. These are their wants. These are their needs, and these would be great if you could have it. All right. If a new agent asked you how to succeed in this space, representing a builder, working the site, hitting targets, what advice would you give them to level up fast?
To level up fast, if you come into a builder,
Well, I'll rephrase the question. You have a friend of yours. Maybe they're a realtor, maybe they're not, but they want to get in the business. What should they expect when they sign up? Say, a builder hires them to be a site agent. What are the expectations? The
expectations is to grind. You got to be in that office every single day. You got to do your own marketing. You don't got to do marketing, but if you sit in the office all day and don't get up and get out and go to events and do the extra stuff and go build relationships, then it's going to be hard to be successful in this business. So the biggest thing, if you're going to come work as a site agent, it's just having and building professional relationships. That's the biggest thing about it. That's the biggest thing that you can do with coming to be a site agent.
Are you guys trying to get in? Do you guys call on some of the brokerages and say, hey, can we come by and do a lunch and learn and tell you what's going on?
I want to come to every brokerage. I want to support every brokerage. Every event with the Realtors Women Council, I'm trying to support every single one of them. They need a sponsor. They need somebody to come set up shop and hand out donuts. I'm going to do it.
Right.
Because I'm talking to realtors, they're the ones bringing me the buyers.
I think probably the first thing that anyone says when we're coming working with a builder as a site agent is, obviously you need to expect to work Saturday and Sunday.
Oh yeah.
Especially getting started, you imagine do they give you one weekend a month? No, don't even give you that.
You work your days. I work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
So the builder expects you to be there every Saturday and Sunday. They're going to give you 2 other days off between Monday and Thursday, right? Yeah. I don't know if Friday's a hot day or not, but they're going to let you schedule 2 days off there. But if you're new, you'd really want to come in and work 6-7 days a week.
I mean, you gotta take your days off for mental health because you don't want to do. You gotta have a work life balance, but you want to come in and
but you can grind like that if you want to.
I love grinding like that. I don't know if anybody else like grinding like that, but I like to grind every day. I'm up.
Well, I imagine sometimes you get that individual who's behind and has been dry for whatever period of time, and they want to get started. They're hungry. They're excited about what's the potential.
Yep.
And that you can get in there just like a car lot. You can go show up every day of the week if you want, and sell every car. It's just like the house. You could show up every day and make those contacts. Call on the real estate agents and that we've been talking about.
Exactly. So if you just grind and thank yourself next month for what you did all last month. That's how I think. I say I'm gonna go do everything I need to do this month, and I'm gonna thank myself for what I did today and all last month every day. I'm gonna thank myself in 2 months from now. I'll be like,
you've obviously seen this from experience. That's how you got to reap what you sow. You have to be really on a 60, 90-day routine. I mean, what you did 60, 90 days ago is what's going to come to fruit today.
People say, me, and I say it all the time, I want to make a lot of money. I want to make so much money. So how I'm going to do that? I got to get up every single day, and I got to go after it. I mean, I don't, if I work hard now, I'm going to thank myself in 30 years when I'm.
Does Richmond, you mentioned cross-sell a few minutes ago. Are you allowed to, if you build a relationship with an agent just wants to work with you, can you actually take them to another subdivision?
So right now, yes. No, but sometimes they turn off cross-selling and I'm only able to sell in my community. But sometimes, if an agent hits me up and they really want to work with me and they want to go buy in Murata and St. Augustine, or they want to go buy in Elm Ridge or any different community, say they want to go even buy my townhome communities, I can't sell you there if they have cross-selling off. Sometimes they turn it off. Sometimes they keep it on. It's just
well, what's interesting is, say, if I got a customer on a Saturday and you Aspen is your subdivision, and you're locked in there. People are coming in. You got to be working, and I want to work with you, but I got a customer who wants, I don't know, down in Trailmark. I don't know if you got anything left in there. If you had anything in there.
We got a new Trailmark.
A new phase in the Trailmark.
Bunch of new houses in the back.
So all the way down the Trailmark. Obviously, it's hard for you to go all the way down there and get back. I mean, it would take a couple hours just to do all that. Do you still get credit, or do you split a sale? How does that work?
If I give the sale to somebody else,
right?
If I give the sale to somebody else, we get a referral from Richmond. They'll pay us something.
Right. Okay. So you're getting something. So it is valuable that if you are a relationship builder, if you are willing to grind, as you are, and you want to go outside your subdivision, so to speak, because you've got all the realtor relationships that they want to deal with Jerry at Richmond Homes, you can still do that.
I can still do that right now.
Yeah.
But tomorrow they could turn it off and I can't do it. But right now I can do that. I can work with anybody. You need help going from Palm Coast, St. Johns County, North Side, West Side, wherever you need it, I can be. Yeah.
Well, Jerry, you've really given us an insight on new construction as site agent. I want to conclude, and I think you would agree with me, some of the bottom line things that we came to today. Agents, you need to collaborate with the site agent like they're your partner agent.
Like they're on your team.
The reality is Richmond's already put aside your commission as a retail agent, and obviously they've put aside Jerry's commission. So whatever confrontation you want to have with Jerry, you're still getting paid the same. That's not going to change. And the incentives and everything like that. Would you agree to that the agents should call in if they don't already know who the site agent is? Call and find out who the site agent is over there. So you walk in, hey, I'm looking for Jerry. That makes your buyers look like you know people.
Exactly.
Right?
Makes you look good.
And then you're introducing people to people like, hey, Jerry, this is my... Now you're introducing people. One of the ways to influence people by John Maxwell is introducing people to other people. Well, you may not really know Jerry, everything about Jerry, but you knew Jerry's name when you walked in there, so it looked like you did.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, but prepping Jerry, would you agree? Prep a site agent. Have your buyer's consultation so you can give him the highlights. These are the things we're looking for. This is why we're here today in your neighborhood.
Exactly.
Yeah. Would you add anything to that? Some of the things we talked about?
Absolutely. Buyer consultations are very important. Get your buyer pre-approved. Make sure that work history is long enough so you're not wasting your time. I'm okay if you come. I love to show houses. If the buyer's not approved, I know we could make a plan for them from 2 years down the road. But just prepping your buyer, knowing where they want to be monthly, knowing their situation.
This brings up a great topic. You just said it. We'll finish with this topic here. Because you're in Aspen's more of a first-time home buyer type thing. So I imagine you And just your experience over the last 2.5 years, you got agents bringing clients who have not talked to a lender yet. They're not pre-approved. Just give us your general experience there, and then imagine Richmond's going to back you on this because they like clients to be pre-approved. Even if it's that outside lender that you're actually going to be talking to somebody, especially like on a Saturday where time's valuable, multiple people may be coming in, that you're actually talking to someone who can buy, and how important that is.
So for me, when buyers come in, I love when buyers come in pre-approved, because number one, they don't know about the programs that you guys the OSL, I keep saying that, but the OSL, like, it might be programs that they need, down payment assistance that Richmond doesn't offer.
Right.
You know, like, if you don't, it's like, for the most part, if you're working with my lender, you really got to be like that buyer that got all your stuff together.
They want a paper. That's a typical builder does. And just so to educate the audience out there, having been on that side myself from the lending side, down payment assistance programs don't pay a lot. The working with Florida Housing and so forth, it's really a loser deal from the lender side when doing it. By the time everyone gets paid who touches that loan, underwriters, everybody involved, it's just a service they provide just to continue things going on. So the builder, too, bad credit people clog up their pipelines. They're good lenders with everybody who's mostly clean and can touch the button and they can approve, the underwriter's going to do it, but they don't want to clog their loan pipelines with people with bad credit. They want a paper so they can assign it to that house and be done with it.
And the biggest thing is just, like, if you're getting pre-approved, you're knowing that, like obviously you can come show them with me, but once they're pre-approved, we have a backup plan just in case they can't get approved with my lender. Like, what if they can't get approved with my lender? We'll still give money to the outside lender and we can probably still make something work, versus if they come straight to me and they get denied and now they're just discouraged.
Yes.
Instead, we got a backup offer. Like, we know we're pre-approved with our outside lender. We just know if we get approved with Jerry's lender, it could be a little bit better.
That is a very good point, because you're going to find, maybe your client's an A-paper person. Great. They're going to get approved with me. They're going to get approved with Jerry. No problem at all. If they're marginal, I have more. If I'm approving them and Jerry's lender says no, they're not discouraged. They've already been pre-approved. So talking to a lender before even bringing them to the builder, you would suggest that?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Because then, even most of the outside lenders, like, if I send, or if buyers are going with outside lenders, these lenders are calling me too and prepping them. Like, they're prepping the buyer, like, okay, who are you going to see? Oh, you're going to see Jerry. We know they got this right now. So obviously we know they have, but you might get denied because of this. If you do, just prepping them.
If you do, we're there.
So when they come in and they get denied by me, I still got my approval with my outside lender, so we can still go with them. Right. And I'm like, yeah, and I can get you some, because builders,
This happens. My teammate Tom just last month had a VA lend. I don't know what builder it was, particularly, but he had a 589 credit score, VA. The builder said no. Yeah. Tom got him approved. He's now in that house, in that new construction house. That particular builder doesn't typically go outside, but they did, because Tom, made a phone call, and he's been doing the business 30 years, and they took our loan and made it work for that veteran and got in there. The builder said no because it wasn't. They probably have a minimum 6 or 620 on a VA loan.
It's a bunch of standards and guidelines that they have to follow, and
because that's the paper investors they have in their lending department.
If you come pre-approved, it's gonna make you happy and it's not gonna keep you discouraged, because we're gonna know.
It can only get better at that point.
It can only get better from there. Yeah. Worst case scenario, we just gonna go with what you're pre-approved with. So very important to get a pre-approval done.
All right, Jerry. Why should the agents call you?
Why should the agents call me? Well, every agent that worked with me, I give it my all, I go hard, and I'm always available.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, Tracy.
Appreciate you coming on today.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
This may be it for today's episode of Real Estate Excellence, but we both know your pursuit of excellence doesn't stop here. To connect with the best of the best and really take your skills to the next level, join our community by visiting TracyHayesPodcast.com, where you'll meet more like-minded individuals looking to expand their inner circle and their personal experience. That's available at TracyHayesPodcast.com.